Hello, hello, happy Sunday, everyone. I am hot today and it's freezing outside. I've been in the house all day today. Had food delivered and did not realize how cold it has gotten in Georgia until I opened the front door. But what I want to do tonight is to share a few bags, and I am going to start just by talking about yesterday's TSV with QVC and why I did not purchase it. So for me, that silhouette, I love the Saffiano leather, I love the strap, love the new clasp closure slip on, lock on the bag. Love the pocket on the back, but that bag is a north-south bag, and I know from this past year that I don't do well with the north-south bag silhouette, that my preference is actually east to west, so more bags that aren't as deep but that are more long. So the Ashby yesterday just really reminded me of the Raleigh Roxy bag, which was the absolute, I'm holding to that still, the absolute worst Dooney Bourke purchase that I have made. So yesterday I decided that I was not going to pick that TSV up just because it had that flair and feel to it. And also, I can't remember which presentation time it was, but I noticed that the sides of the bag on one of the displays was starting to show a little caving in on the side, which was part of the reason that the Raleigh Roxy was not for me. So I have that bag. I brought it up to share it. But it just, yesterday's TSV just reminded me of that. So when I say caving in, and I'm just taking this bag out of the dust cover, can you see, even with the bag being fully stuffed, where the leather is caving? It's not holding its shape. Now, I acknowledge that yesterday's bag did not have the that leather lining that the Raleigh Roxy bag has, but that silhouette just to me was similar to this bag. The strap, of course, was different because this one has a webbed strap that I've stuck down in here someplace. So this one has a web strap. The one from yesterday, it did have a wider shoulder strap, which I actually think is a good thing. But the fact that it was a north-south silhouette as opposed to an east-west, and that I saw that the sides, even on display, were starting to cave, I just knew that that would be a bag very similar to this one that I regret having in my collection, and I'm plotting ways to get rid of it. So I did not pick up the TSV yesterday, although I am on the hunt for the little wristlet that they offered on yesterday. I thought that was a really nice wallet. I like the fact that it has those 3 card holders in the front, which was something that I was not sure of when I actually posted the spoiler alert. But before I purchase one, to make sure that it's not like the clutch wallet thing that I just recently carried, I would absolutely take out my business cards, a debit or credit card, and make sure that it's going to easily slip in and out of all 3 of those front storage areas before I picked it up, just because it gave the yesterday I wasn't sure if, just looking at it, if cards would easily slide into those 2 end slips, and I couldn't tell it because they only kept 1 card in through all of the presentations, and it was always in that center pocket, and they never moved it to any of the others. So I would absolutely pick that up if they ever offered that as a separate purchase, but only after I verified that all 3 of those card slots on the front under that envelope flap were large enough to hold business cards and a credit card at the same, across the front. So that is why I did not pick up the TSV on yesterday. What I want to share now is what I'm going to call a cardinal sin bag. And it's a cardinal sin for me because it's black. It's been in my collection for a very long time. And it also has a center zip. And it's been in my collection for a long time. Let me go back to that. It's Florentine. I recently carried it. Well, it's now probably been a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, since I was in Richmond. And it was during the snow. And I carried it with me then. And it got snow on it and everything, but it is the Dooney Bourke Florentine Shopper, and it's empty now because I actually carried it for 2 weeks, just switched out of it, and I've not stuffed it again. But it has the 2 large pockets with the snap closures here on the front. It has the Dooney Bourke embossing logo in the leather on the front, and it also has the crescent on the back. I think I probably had this bag at least 10 years. That's how old it is. It has a double strap closure. It has the earthy color gingham lining, single snap pocket on the front wall. It has attached to it a little accessory piece, and just, something you can throw some coins or cards in. Hi, Pauline. And it's just kind of got an arched top to it, so it's not smooth, or it's not a straight blunt cut. It has a little crest concave here on the top, and it is not lined. It just has raw leather, dark on the inside. The top closure is, you can keep it open as a tote, or you can actually secure the top with the snap here in the center, and it will actually change the shape of the bag as well. So again, this is an older bag. I've carried it in the snow, in the rain, but I call it a cardinal sin bag because where my bag personality is today compared to when I purchased this bag, it has a center zip compartment in it. And the center zip in this bag is different from any of the center zips that are currently out in any of the collections, or any of the center zips that I have, kind of peppered throughout my collection. And I say that it's different because the zip is only up halfway the height of the bag. It does have the gold hardware, key ring, and a leather key keeper. But as you can tell, that center zip is down halfway of the bag. And for some reason, I don't know whether it's because I got this bag early in my Dooney obsession, or if it's because the divider actually sits lower, that it doesn't create as many issues for me in this bag. Now, in this bag, I use that lower center zip as a cosmetic. I don't put my wallet or anything in there. So maybe that's it. But this is a cardinal sin, so I didn't want you to think that I don't have any black bags in my collection. I do. I have a few. One with a center zip. They just are not what I normally gravitate to. And to prove that I have more than one black bag in my collection, I actually have the Blair, which is an older bag as well. I think this one is Dylan leather, if I'm not mistaken, and Dylan is making a comeback right now in the current collections, and this is what she looks like. So kind of a little doctor style satchel It has, you know, that it's been stored with other stuff on it, but pocket, zipper pocket on the back. Love, it's got a little ladylike style to it. There is the I think this was Portofino collection, but it's Dylan leather, and it has a zippered closure across the top, and it has the D rings or O rings or whatever shape these are. I think they're D, so that you can attach the shoulder strap. But I absolutely never use the strap. I just have it. It sits funny. It's one of those bags that it just looks better being carried by the handle or over the wrist or on the crook of the arm. But again, different kinds of leather, different size bags, different uses. Although you know by now that I have very little regard for the weather as it relates to what bag I'm carrying. So those are two black bags that I have in my collection. Now, the next is a bag that if I were to ever have a bag sale, I would probably get rid of, and I'm thinking that I can't wrap my mind around the logistics for a bag sale. And right now, with everything that I have going on for work and home, and still trying to get to all of my new locations for travel, I just don't know that it's going to be in my immediate future. So I'm going to ask that you continue to be patient with me on that as I make a decision. I think this would actually be a bag that my mother would like. I've pulled it out a million times to consider carrying it, and 2 million times to consider selling it, and I've just not gotten around to either. It is the Dooney Bourke Shelby Shopper. Let's see if it will show there. So there's the Shelby, and it has the little turn lock closure, luggage tag, Dooney Bourke luggage tag. You can tell it's still wrapped in the original package, because when I got it, I should have just packed it back up and shipped it back. But instead, I thought, well, maybe I will like it. Maybe I can bring myself to get over the center zip, and it's never happened. I just have not. Now, I could probably bring myself to use this little accessory piece, but if I consider gifting it or even selling it, I want to be able to include everything in its original packaging and as I purchased it. I got this, and I thought, you know, from a neutral color standpoint, I thought that I would really enjoy carrying it. And I've had this now for, let's see, I think I ordered this bag in November of 2014. That's how long I've had this bag, and I bought it in taupe and caramel or caramel, and they are both still down in the Dooney vault when I should have honestly shipped them back. At the time, I thought, well, it'll be neutral. It looked great on the models, you know, when I saw it in all the books, and then when I watched the QVC presentations. But I wasn't on a natural bag kick then, which is strange considering the colors that I ordered. But I'm going to take it out, look at it for a couple of days or a week. I'm going to be home this week, and see if I am moved, if I am inspired at any point to put my items in here. But I'm thinking it's going to be a no, because I have so many other neutral colors now. And as you can tell, it's a bit more north-south than east-west. So you can tell that it's, you know, kind of starting to cave as well. Could be a little bit from the storage, but I think it's more just from the silhouette of the bag. Not crazy about the strap. because it's a thin strap. It's thick, so very thick sealed strap. But I just know that once I get all of my stuff loaded in here, that it's most likely going to just weigh down. Passes the elbow test, which is great, but I just don't know that I love it well enough to actually take it out of the plastic to diminish the potential resale value or the ability to gift it. All right, so I'm going to check the comments really quick and make sure I've not missed anything. Yeah, center zip, that middle, I don't know what it is. I just can't. I don't know that I'll add another one to my collection. And if I do, it's going to have to be something absolutely phenomenal for me to move past it, because I just know that I've not enjoyed those pieces in my collection as much as I've enjoyed the bags that have an open space, free form, so that I can determine how to organize my bag as opposed to being forced or restricted by that center zip. So yesterday, and I'm going to send a big shout out to Pauline. She talked me off of the ledge yesterday. There were a couple of bags on QVC that I had in my shopping cart. I just wanted. They had the fold over bag, the little wrist, the crossbody clutch, and that salmon color was speaking to me in Dooney language, and I had it in my shopping cart. I found another Hattie that I wanted, and there was a navy Kristen tote that was back in stock, and I wanted all three of those. And I told her, I said, if I keep this up, then there won't be a need for me to go to the meetup in Chicago, because I'll be broke. I won't have, or there won't be anything else, right, that I have an interest in adding to my collection, because I will have purchased everything ahead of time. So she talked me off the ledge. Thank you, Pauline. And I signed off of QVC. But to throw us both under the bus, that was only after we had purchased beauty related items. So it was not, I just didn't purchase Dooney, and I don't think she did either, but we did manage to get the opinions of each other on a couple of other things and bought those. So I'm sure both of our channels will reveal some of those purchases here in the next week or two as those items arrive. The Kristen tote I've had in my collection for a long time, so much in fact that as I was down in the Dooney vault, I decided to dig out the two that have been stored in, yeah, we are both enablers. The two of the ones that I have in red and Bordeaux that have been in my collection for a long time. And I'm just going to show you in the red. Of course, I've probably carried the red far more. But how much I've loved this bag is that I actually need to send it in either for a trade or repair, because the little piping that they use to help shape the handle has actually come out on both sides. I purchased these new. They didn't have feet. I don't know that the ones now have feet. Maybe the Florentine ones do. But I have just really enjoyed this style bag. So for it to be available now in Florentine and in the Croco, and I'm sure that it's going to reappear again this summer with additional colors, just because that's how Peter rolls. I'm excited because I have enjoyed these bags. So I have, of course, new ones now in my collection, but I've had these for probably 10 years as well. I've not carried this one as much as the red, and I know that because it's not coming. Let me just verify. It's, yeah, Bordeaux. The color is Bordeaux. I've not carried this one as much because the handles and everything are still intact, but it is soft and supple and just, it's great. But that's what leather will do when you've had it for a long time and it starts to, you know, age. So I have it, and I pull these out because I'm trying to decide whether I am going to actually trade this one in, or whether I'm going to get it repaired, or whether I am going to ignore the little piping and carry it one more time before I make that decision. I love this bag. This was just, trying to think of what collection it originally launched in, and I don't know that I recall. But again, you know, I can remember hearing when did I buy this? I can tell you exactly when, because I bought it directly from Dooney. So I bought it in December of 2010. So I've had it for 8 years. And I bought the Kristen tote, I bought a red satchel, and I bought that red backpack that I shared a while back. So that's how long I've had these pieces in my collection. This is, you know, almost 8 years now. I love this. I love it. I love it. I need to just pack up. I have a few bags that I need to pack up to send in for repair. I have 2 bags that I purchased from one of the Dooney Facebook groups before I gave up the secondary market because of all the drama that happened with that bag. So I need to send it in because I'm going to trade it and hope that they give me $5 for it, because I don't think it's even worth that now because the leather dry rotted. That's, I think, what happened with the strap breaking. So I need to do that, but I don't necessarily want to have them all out at the same time, because I think that just increases the risk for things to get you know, lost and confused, or they trade, you know, something that I wanted repaired, they actually think I'm going to trade, or something gets destroyed. Dooney is great from a quality standpoint. Their customer service seems to be decent when you can get a good person on the phone, but there's still a lot to be desired from them for me from a customer service standpoint. So I've got to figure out when and what order I'm going to send those in for trade and repair. So let's see. I'm going to check the comments really quick. I had no plans of staying on long tonight, and it looks like I may be able to get out of here a bit early and let you have some of your Sunday afternoon back. Again, I hope those of you that purchased the TSV yesterday, I can't wait to see your reveals and unboxings. But for me, it was a no. Not because it was Saffiano. I don't have any issues with Saffiano leather. It was the north-south silhouette, and the fact that it reminded me of the Riley Roxy, which was the absolute worst Dooney purchase. So I shared early in the video tonight that I can't remember which airing it was, what time slot it was, but that I noticed that the Ashby yesterday was showing signs of caving, like it wasn't holding its structure even though it was empty yesterday or stuffed with you know, filler. So I just decided it was not going to be for me. The other thing is it didn't have as much depth as this bag, or as much width, I'm sorry, as this bag. And the width on this one was okay, but that was probably about it. So I decided to pass, and I felt comfortable passing because of the north-south silhouette. I knew that it had the center zip, so two things that are no's right now for me. And when I checked the scheduler, it showed a few more Dooney Bourke shows scheduled on QVC for the next couple of weeks. So I thought one of two things: either things that maybe I've been on the fence about or that I want to purchase an additional color in, those things will either go on clearance or they will use the next couple of presentations to bring in more of the new spring pieces, and I'd have an opportunity to add something new, especially because that salmon color yesterday was speaking to my soul. So I really want to get some of that in. That salmon though, for those of you that remember the salmon color, I would say it was kind of in the early 2000s. I think that color yesterday was more in the red or geranium color family as opposed to the salmon color that was available when the lilac and the lavender, when those colors were available. So I think that before this is all said and done, I will add a bag or two potentially in that color. Fingers crossed that they actually will launch that color in something in Emerson. I really like what I'm seeing so far in Emerson, not enough to pull the trigger on anything yet. I don't know that I really want to get geranium in the Emerson collection. The Caribbean blue is, or I think that's the name of it, is really pretty, but I just don't see me reaching to carry that, so I've refrained from that. The Purse Fairy gifted me with a white bag, so I don't need white in, you know, from the Emerson collection. You know, black, I've got enough black. I don't see, it's got to be really special for me to pick it up in black. I've had the what is it, the Kyra bag in the Emerson collection. I've had it in and out of my shopping cart, but again, just not wowed enough to add it and check out. So that's all I have for tonight, other than a reminder that we still have some spots available for the meet and greet in Chicago at the Chicago Premium Outlet. May 26th, 27th, and 28th, I think, are the dates. It's the weekend right before Memorial Day. So that Sunday before Memorial Day is the actual last day of the event. So it's actually 25th, 26th, 27th, traveling in either Friday the 25th or the 26th, that Saturday, spending the day Saturday at Dooney and the Chicago Premium Outlets, breakfast at the hotel, hors d'oeuvres and cocktails at the hotel in the evening before heading out to enjoy the Windy City. More shopping in Chicago on the 27th in the Rosemont area, not too far from O'Hare Airport. And then I personally will be traveling back on Sunday, May the 27th, because I would like to have a day at home to actually rest and not be in the thick of the holiday return traffic on Monday the 28th. So I may grill out on that day or do something else, but I did not want to be battling Chicago traffic and the airport trying to get back home for work on Tuesday. So I'll be sure to include the registration link below if you are interested in the event and have not yet registered. If you think that there's a possibility that you will be there because you're in the Chicago area, I'd ask that you include your information on the registration link just so that we can plan appropriately. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're not a regular during the live stream, I welcome you. We join on Sundays around 6 p.m. Eastern time. Today it was a little bit later because I was down in the Dooney vault trying to dig some bags out. Not sure what Easter Sunday is going to look like. I will be in Tennessee, going to try to get back in time to do that, but I just believe that, you know, that holiday should be for your family. So if you don't get an alert, just know that I'm probably on the road driving back from Tennessee because I got a late start. But we'd love to have you 6 o'clock on Sundays. If you just got an alert for live and you've enjoyed what you saw tonight, make sure that you hit the subscribe button before you head out so that you don't miss future uploads or live streams. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, I do hope that you're finding something that feeds your Dooney addiction. Take care. Good night, everyone.